Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Last time we completed the Key Cavern and acquired ourselves a nice old pair of boots, the Pegasus Boots to be exact. You hold the L button down, you dash straight forward. And that's going to be pretty useful because now we can break certain objects like those little bouncy crystals we saw in said dungeon. And this part is primarily going to be we are going to make a bit of progression in this, so I shouldn't really say it's just going to be cleanup because it's actually not. But before we get to the progression, let's go through this cave real quick. Now that we have the Pegasus Boots, we can bash right through these crystals and get to that chest on the other side. Now, a bit of a short sight on my part, there is also a heart piece in there. I don't know why I ignored this. I probably didn't even see it there, even though it's clearly right there. But there is a crack in the wall on the right side. There is a crack in the right wall at the top. Like a dope, I ignore this. Don't worry, I do come back for it later. I'll make sure to leave it in the future part, so you can take my word for it. But I don't know why I ignored that. So make sure you have bombs and you blow up that right wall. But meanwhile, back in the village, we can finally enter this conspicuous house. We're gonna go to sleep. Why are we going to sleep? Because we can enter this section now. Now, these weird things, they sort of do this. Now, they're sort of like the Shy Guys, except they literally mimic everything that you do. It's not simply the opposite. No, they just straight up mimic you. But first off, let's get this chest, which has a silver rupee. So now that gives us a good 100 rupees. It's awesome. But we're here for this thing primarily. This is the Ocarina. This game, it's the debut of the Ocarina before Ocarina of Time was a thing. Unfortunately, Link doesn't know how to play it for beans, so we might have to get a little bit of help on learning to play this silly thing. Now, unlike the flute in Link to the Past, this thing can do, this thing has a lot more, this thing is able to do a little more. That's a nice ocarina you have there. Will you accompany me as I sing? So, how do you like it? It's really touching, isn't it? Does it stick in your mind? You've learned the Ballad of the Windfish. The song will always remain in your heart. Please remember this song. You should play it every once in a while to keep it fresh in your mind. It's not like we actually have to play it every once in a while. It will stay in our hearts forever. And unfortunately, we're only going to be really using that song a small handful of times. It's not for anything like it's not for like you can only really use it in very specific areas. But anyway, before we actually move on to our... Well, actually, no, we're doing that now. Because since we have the Pegasus Boots, we can actually head to the next area of the game. So if we head right over here, we cut this bush. A staircase appears. We could have gotten here earlier. But the problem is, those rocks, those crystals would have been blocking the way, so we wouldn't be able to get through. Alright, and now it's time for us to enter the animal village. For some reason, the prompt didn't come up on screen, indicating that's where you are. The music in this area is really weird. Is that a bear? Hi ho! Hey you! Is that possibly a honeycomb you have? I just ran up. Will you swap it for a pineapple? That's not actually Yogi Bear. I couldn't think of another voice to give him. Hi ho! I know. That Tabaku is asleep right in the way of Yarna Desert. Once he's asleep, he won't budge for a long time. But hey, it's safe little Marin, wake him up with a thinging. That slub would wake up with a jump if he heard her song. He's actually not kidding. There's actually a big fat walrus blocking our path to this desert, in which the owl instructed us to go to next. And no matter what you do, you could. It's like you could Pegasus boot him, you could throw bombs at him. Well, you're kind of a monster for even considering trying to blow up this innocent walrus. But don't worry, he's invincible. So what you're gonna want to do, well, before we leave, get this heart piece. And don't worry about that cracked wall we passed by. We're gonna come there later. We just don't have the necessary item to actually fully explore it. But for the time being, we're gonna make our way back to the trendy game, because the trendy game has a heart piece. And now you're going to enjoy. My failures. I got this on my first try during the test playthrough. And watch this. The beautiful recording curse. And now it's stuck in the middle of the platforms that move. Again, it's like you press that record button and everything that you did so well just suddenly just, isn't, good. I hate it. Alright, please pick it up. Alright, I think we got it. Alright, we're good. Phew. I don't like this version of the crane game. I've probably said that a number of times already, but I don't like this crane game. I was never good at I was never good at real crane games in real life. I like to believe they're all rigged, deliberately rigged, but I can't play them in real life, and I'm only just a little better in this one. Meaning I can actually win them. Otherwise, I would have to literally get my sister up here just so I can get this done, because she can play crane games like nobody's business. And I just look at her like she has some sort of stupid magic powers. Alright, now the reason why we're coming all the way to the beach is because Marin is over here. I'm just glad you found this place. Will you stay and talk to me for a while? Yeah, sure. Kind of need to take you somewhere, though. Or we could just sit here. This is a sweet little scene we get here. I wonder where these coconut trees come from. Terrence says there's nothing beyond the sea. But I believe there must be something over there. When I discovered you, my heart skipped a beat. I thought, this person has come to give us a message. What message? If I was a seagull, I would fly as far as I could. I would fly to faraway places and sing for many people. If I wish to the windfish, I wonder if my dream will come true. Maybe. Hey, are you listening? Are you listening to me? Yeah, of course. I want to know everything about you. What? Don't you think that's a bit too soon, Marin? Huh? The walrus wants me to go to him. Well, alright, let's go. You got Marin. Is this your big chance? It's not. Okay, so now that we got Marin escorting us, I should probably explain that picture thing because Marin plays a big role in this. So in the original game where Dompe's shack was, there would be a little photograph thing where you could get pictures taken. If you had access to the Game Boy printer, which I most certainly believe that nobody had that. This is my first walk with you. This cliff will be our secret place. Aren't you going to say anything? I don't. You haven't gotten to know Link for 2. You don't know Link the way I do. He doesn't speak at all. What are you talking about? Not even in the recent Breath of the Wild game, he doesn't speak, which really annoys me because that just shows his character sucks. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. But you could get pictures taken with Marin as well. Like, if you're standing in specific areas, or you do specific things with her by your side, you can get pictures taken. As a matter of fact, we could do it here. She's actually going to play the trendy game. Marin? Marin? I don't think you're supposed to do that. Marin? No. No. Well, clearly Marin's really good at this game. Why can't I get her to get me all my prizes? You're good. You're a pro, aren't you? Well, beat it! Pros aren't allowed in here. It's like you're the complete opposite of every League of Legends player. I apologize to those that play League of Legends. Anyway, you can take her with you to a lot of places. You can get a bunch of pictures taken. This added a nice bit of charm to the game, but unfortunately, this is not a Game Boy, so there's no camera to be found. Instead, you just get a cutscene for some of them. I do not know if all the pictures pertain to cutscenes. I didn't consider exploring that. If there are cutscenes, let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to know. But anyways, now that we got Marin by our side, we can go to the animal village, and we can take her to the walrus. It's that lazy walrus. Shall we give him a little surprise? Wow, he certainly woke with a start. Oh, he's calling me. It's the same as always. I'm going to the animal village. Please drop by, okay? And that's basically where she's going to be for for a good large chunk of this game. But I think we're going to call it a part now. So, next time on The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, we're going to explore the Yarna Desert and hopefully find our way towards the next dungeon. So until then, I got a juice.